Yo, what's up guys, it's ApTreX here. In today's video, we'll be finally taking a look at the brand new updates of Sudachi Emulator Android. Now finally the developer is back from his slumber to provide us with regular updates of Sudachi Emulator on both Android and PC. Well, before getting started, if you are wondering about the minimum requirements, then you need at least 6 to 8 GB of RAM along with that Snapdragon 4 Gen 1 processor or above. Those are the only minimum requirements for these Nintendo Switch emulators, and if you want me to test this out on a low-end Android device as well, do let me know in the comment section down below. Hit that like button, subscribe, turn on all notification. Let's get started. So guys, right here is the official GitHub page of Sudachi Emulator, and you will be able to see yesterday the version 1.0.13 was released of Sudachi Emulator for all platforms. Similarly, last week the developer came back and released the version 1.0.12, and the last version which we actually tried out was in October 8, 2024. You guys will be able to see the changelog of these updates, changed MMU to be more accurate to documentation, removed ability to add games to NAND. Anyways, to get started, right here is the latest version of Sudachi Emulator which I have already added. To set it up, it's pretty simple. Just like all the other emulators, you import your Nintendo Switch stuff. Afterwards, you will need to go to settings to apply the best settings which I am about to show you guys. So let's go to advanced settings, and here in system, limit speed percentage is set to 400%. By the way, most of the Nintendo Switch emulators which we see like New Shoes, Xiangs, etc. were based on the Sudachi emulator. That's why their performance was really amazing. This is officially the most optimized Nintendo Switch emulator for Android devices. Dock mode has been disabled, and in terms of graphics, we have resolution scaling 0.75x, VSync mode set as mailbox. Afterwards, scroll down, disk shader cache, force maximum clocks as well as asynchronous shaders have been enabled. And in terms of debug settings, CPU backend is native code execution, and that's about it. We'll also be using a custom graphics driver which is going to be the latest Mesa Turnip Adreno driver 25.0.0 revision 7. So let's go back. Afterwards, go back once again, and if you guys have watched my latest Citron emulator video, then you guys know that I tried out Witcher 3 Wild Hunt on that emulator. It gave me about 20 to 30 FPS. So how about Sudachi emulator? Let's find that out right away. I have launched the game, and this is going to be super interesting because we'll be able to find out which emulator actually gives us more FPS. Is Citron better or is Sudachi better? Let's press any button to continue. Afterwards, tap on the A button multiple times, and here we go. Our game has successfully started. Now straight off the bat, 0.75x resolution scaling is properly working. I'm able to see that the game's graphics have been downscaled, and even the audio output is working, so there is no issue with that. Let's just go ahead and start a brand new game. Here we go, it has successfully started. We'll skip the cutscenes though, and let's find out how well does this game actually work. So alright, here we go. Our game has successfully started, and immediately I am seeing that it's super smooth. Like, just take a look at this, 50 FPS, 53, 57 FPS at the top left corner. And when we went in outside world areas in Citron emulator, I was getting about 30 FPS. And just take a look at this, we are literally getting 10 FPS more in Sudachi emulator compared to what we got in the Citron emulator. And still there are some flickering issues here and there, some graphical issues as you will be able to see at the back of character, but most of the stuff is being rendered correctly. I think that's what matters the most. And in terms of inside world areas, you will be able to see the FPS is actually amazing, like 55, 60 FPS. That's pretty amazing. So no, Citron emulator is definitely not better than Sudachi emulator. That's the thing which I can say for sure. But now you will be able to see my Android tablet has started thermal throttling. Now this is not the fault of Sudachi emulator, this is just the fault of my Android tablet. It doesn't have adequate cooling, so obviously when emulating big titles, my Android tablet starts thermal throttling. I remember when my Android tablet started thermal throttling in Citron emulator, I was getting like 14 to 15 FPS, and here we are getting like 24 FPS. Alright, there are some stuttering. Frame rate are pretty consistent across both the emulators. So yeah, make sure to have good cooling, and don't use Samsung devices for emulation if you want to play games at a stable rate. That's going to be it for today's video though. Huge thumbs up for the brand new version of Sudachi emulator. It is pretty amazing. I'm happy that the developer is back. Anyways, that's going to be it for today's video. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.